In our previous episode, Krishna revealed the enemy that can destroy a person from within. Not another person. Not failure. Desire. A single thought becomes attachment. Attachment becomes desire. Desire becomes anger. Anger clouds judgment, and confused judgment can destroy an entire life. But Krishna also gave Arjuna a way out: self-mastery, the ability to make the intellect stronger than the restless mind. Yet Arjuna still believes Krishna is simply a wise prince, a trusted friend, his charioteer. Chapter 4 is about to change that completely. Krishna begins with an extraordinary revelation. He tells Arjuna that this ancient wisdom of yoga was first taught to the sun god, who passed it to Manu, who passed it to the royal sages. Generation after generation carried this knowledge, until it was lost. And that raises a profound question. How can wisdom be lost? Truth does not become false because people forget it. It disappears from human life when people stop practicing it. A lesson taught by a grandparent can disappear within a generation. Patience can be replaced by impatience. Gratitude by comparison. Stillness by distraction. The wisdom remains true. But if nobody lives it, eventually it becomes nothing more than information. That is why every generation has a responsibility. We don't merely inherit wisdom. We must carry it forward. Krishna tells Arjuna that he is revealing this ancient teaching to him because Arjuna is both his devotee and his friend. And there is something important here. Arjuna isn't chosen because he is the greatest warrior or the smartest man in the room. He is ready to listen. Real learning begins when we can admit, I don't know. Humility creates space for wisdom. A full cup cannot receive anything more. Only the empty cup can be filled. Perhaps that is why life's deepest lessons often arrive after our greatest struggles. Not because wisdom wasn't there before, but because we weren't ready to hear it. Then Arjuna asks the obvious question. Krishna, you were born in this age. The sun god existed countless ages ago. How could you have taught him? And Krishna gives an answer that changes everything. He tells Arjuna that many births have passed for both of them, but Krishna remembers them all. Arjuna does not. Imagine reading only one page of a great novel. The character on that page cannot see what came before or what comes next, but the author knows the entire story. Every beginning, every ending, every connection. Krishna is telling Arjuna, you see one moment, I see the entire story. And perhaps this is one of the most comforting teachings in the Gita. We often judge our entire lives from a single chapter. A job is lost, and we believe our future is finished. A relationship ends, and we believe happiness is gone. Failure arrives, and we mistake it for the end. But one chapter is not the whole story. Never make a permanent conclusion from a temporary chapter. Life is still being written. Then Krishna reveals one of the most famous teachings in the Bhagavad Gita. Whenever Dharma declines and Adharma rises, he manifests to protect righteousness, destroy evil, and restore Dharma. This is traditionally understood as the divine incarnation. But there is also a deeply personal lesson within it. Krishna does not promise that darkness will never come. He reminds us that darkness can always be answered by light. Every garden grows weeds. Every home gathers dust. Every mind, when neglected, can fill with fear, anger, comparison, and doubt. Nothing meaningful maintains itself. Friendships require care. Health requires discipline. Families require forgiveness. A meaningful life is built through repeated acts of restoration, and the same principle works within us. When fear takes over, courage can return. When confusion takes over, clarity can return. When anger takes over, compassion can return. When we lose our way, we can begin again. The battle between Dharma and Adharma is not only something found in ancient history. It happens every morning inside the human heart. Fear or wisdom? Impulse or awareness? The person we have been, or the person we are becoming? Krishna then explains that one who understands his divine nature and actions becomes free from bondage. But bondage isn't only physical. A person can be trapped by anger, by regret, by the need for approval, by fear of failure, by the past. True freedom begins when understanding changes. The past may remain unchanged, but our relationship with the past can transform. Knowledge doesn't erase what happened. It changes who we become because of it. And that is the beginning of liberation. Krishna then gives another remarkable teaching. He says that people approach him in different ways, and he receives them accordingly. Not everyone walks the same spiritual path. Some find truth through prayer, others through service, others through suffering, silence, knowledge, or love. The paths may look different, but sincerity matters more than labels. Imagine a mountain with many paths. One traveler climbs through a forest. Another follows a river. Another takes a rocky trail. Their journeys look completely different. Yet they are all moving towards the summit. The question is not whether your path looks like someone else's. The question is whether you are walking it sincerely. Then Krishna turns to a subject that directly affects every human life: action. He says the wise person sees action in inaction, and inaction in action. It sounds like a contradiction, but think about someone who appears completely still while preparing for an important decision. Outwardly, nothing seems to be happening, yet inside, there may be discipline, awareness, and tremendous effort. Now consider someone constantly running from one task to another. Emails, meetings, notifications, social media, always busy, yet avoiding the one thing that truly needs to be faced. Outwardly active, inwardly stagnant. That is the difference between movement and meaningful action. Being busy is not the same as making progress. Sometimes the most important action is silence, reflection, patience, facing a difficult truth, choosing not to react. The real question isn't, am I busy? It is, am I moving towards what truly matters? Krishna then speaks of the fire of knowledge. Knowledge doesn't destroy action. It burns away the ego attached to action. Imagine gold placed in fire. The gold survives. The impurities are removed. In the same way, wisdom doesn't necessarily remove ambition or achievement. It purifies the reason behind them. Two people may perform exactly the same job. One works only for praise. The other works because excellence itself is an offering. Their actions look identical from the outside, but internally, they are completely different. One becomes dependent on approval. The other remains free. That is true selfless action. When your worth is no longer dependent on praise, criticism loses its power over you. Then Krishna gives another beautiful teaching. The offering is divine. The one who offers is divine. The process of offering is divine. And the one who receives it is divine. The deeper message is simple. We spend much of life waiting for extraordinary moments. I'll be happy when I succeed. I'll feel fulfilled when I reach the destination. But Krishna shifts our attention from the destination to the journey. A mother caring for her child, a doctor comforting a patient, a craftsman perfecting his work, a musician practicing the same piece again and again. These moments may never receive applause, yet they can be sacred. When we stop asking, what will I get? and begin asking, what is the best I can give? Ordinary work becomes meaningful. A meaningful life is rarely built through extraordinary days. It is built through ordinary days, lived extraordinarily well. Krishna then tells Arjuna that knowledge is greater than material offerings. Why? Because material gifts can solve an immediate problem. Knowledge can transform a person's future. Give someone food, and you satisfy hunger for a day. Teach them how to create that food, and you change their future. That is the power of knowledge. But learning requires humility. Krishna describes 3 qualities of a true seeker: humility, curiosity, service. Ask sincere questions. Approach those who have wisdom, remain willing to learn. The moment we believe we already know enough, growth begins to end. And then Krishna gives a powerful image. Just as fire turns wood into ashes, the fire of knowledge can burn away the burden of past actions. Not because the past never happened, but because wisdom can create a new person, one who no longer allows yesterday to define today. The purpose of knowledge is not to make us superior, it is to make us free. But now Krishna reaches the final obstacle: doubt. Not honest questioning. Krishna welcomes sincere questions. The dangerous doubt is the kind that paralyzes us, the endless hesitation that keeps us from acting. Fear says, maybe I'm not ready. Maybe I'll fail. Maybe I should wait. And sometimes, we wait so long that life moves on without us. Doubt doesn't always destroy dreams dramatically. Sometimes it simply keeps us standing still. We may already know what needs to be done. Exercise. Apologize. Forgive. Leave what is unhealthy. Start the business. Write the book. Spend more time with family. The knowledge is already there. Only action is missing. And between knowing and becoming stands one final quality: courage. Krishna tells Arjuna that a person with faith, devotion, and self-mastery gains knowledge, and through knowledge finds peace. But faith does not mean blind belief. Faith means continuing forward even when the entire path isn't visible. Think about the major decisions of life: career, marriage, parenthood. None comes with complete certainty. We step forward without guarantees, because certainty has never been the price of growth. Trust has. There comes a point when learning must become living. Knowledge shows you the road. Faith gives you the courage to walk it. And this is why Krishna warns against the doubting mind. He is not condemning curiosity. He is warning against paralysis. The person who endlessly waits for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, the perfect version of themselves, may spend their entire life preparing to live. But life doesn't wait for perfect certainty. Eventually, knowledge must become action. And so Krishna gives Arjuna his final instruction of the chapter. Take the sword of knowledge and cut through the doubt born of ignorance. Then rise and act. Notice what Krishna gives him. Not another weapon. Arjuna already has a bow. What he lacks is clarity. Because the greatest battles are not always won by stronger weapons. They are won by clearer minds. Knowledge is a sword. Not because it harms others, but because it cuts through illusion. It separates truth from fear, purpose from distraction, reality from imagination. So ask yourself, what belief has been holding me back? What fear have I allowed to become my identity? What truth do I already understand, but continue to avoid acting upon? Chapter 4 is not merely about ancient history. It is about what happens when wisdom becomes action. Krishna teaches us that truth can be forgotten unless someone chooses to live it. That darkness can be answered by light. That work can become worship. that knowledge can free us from fear, regret, and ego. And most importantly, that understanding must eventually lead to action. Because wisdom that never changes your life is only information. The Bhagavad Gita was never meant merely to impress the mind. It was meant to awaken the soul. And perhaps you won't remember every verse from this chapter. You don't need to. Remember this: every day, two forces compete within you. One is the fire of desire. It consumes your peace. The other is the fire of wisdom. It burns away your chains. The choice has always been yours. But Arjuna's journey is far from over, because one question remains. If knowledge is so powerful, should he abandon the world and choose renunciation? Or should he continue to act while remaining detached from the results? Action or renunciation? It is a question millions still struggle with. Do we find peace by escaping the world? Or by learning to live within it, without becoming enslaved by it? In the next episode, Krishna gives one of the most practical answers in the entire Bhagavad Gita. An answer that will change how we understand work, success, peace, and the restless human mind. If this journey has helped you see your own life more clearly, share it with someone who may need these teachings today. Because wisdom survives when it is lived and passed on. Until next time, Jai Shri Krishna.